All right, guys, if any of you are out there, I got a blue screen of death. I got some sort of device conflict. And, yeah, gave me a BSOD. And when I tried to reboot, it wasn't recognizing my keyboard. I have one of these gigabyte mechanical keyboards with the LED lights and so forth. And so I rebooted again after that. And then I had to unplug the keyboard, plug the keyboard back in, just so I can log back into my machine. And so I really apologize for that. That was just completely out of left field. I've never had that happen anytime recently on this machine. So blue screen of death really sucks. Let me get the chat back in here. So one of the problems is my internet has DNS issues. And so whenever I reboot my computer, it takes a while for the internet to stabilize, which is really crappy, but it is what it is, I guess. It's an issue I've never been able to resolve, unfortunately. So guys, super sorry about that. Yeah, computality, exactly. We're gonna switch over to a different game. Because I don't really feel like playing Ultimate MK3. I probably should just play MK1 or 2. I always feel good about playing those, but MK3, at least on the Genesis, I'm not usually into it, especially when I play it on the Genesis, but... Alright. So a lot of you guys mentioned Ghouls and Ghosts, so I can play that. I don't mind playing Ghouls and Ghosts. That actually really sucks because we had like 25 people watching, and now we have 11. So we lost over half the people, thanks to that reboot. That really sucks. But oh well. Audio stuttering. I'm not really sure what to say. I'm not really doing anything different than I was before I restarted. By audio stuttering, do you mean the microphone, or do you mean the game, or everything? Yeah, Y2J, you'll eventually see a Let's Play on Rocket Knight, most likely. Executioner, what was the question? I've never heard of MK2 Unlimited. Damn, this game looks pretty good in RGB. I think this is the first time I played the Genesis version in RGB. You watch my long plays, nice. game audio stuttering. Guys, I don't really know why the game audio is stuttering. I have no idea. It's really odd because it sounds fine on my headphones. Must be a stream thing. Ha ha, Simbin. Yeah, I know, guys. The game audio is choppy. It is the Genesis sound chip. Huh, interesting, Executioner. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Alright, guys, let me know now. I just deactivated my device and then reactivated it, so let me know if that fixes it. I hope it fixes it. I did play Arthur in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, actually. He was one of my main characters. Okay, so it's good now? Alright, so can we actually play the game, guys? Are we good to play the game? I hope we are. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I think, was actually one of the last fighting games I bought. Yeah, Simbin. Yeah, it is. I mean, I've always had various BSODs on Windows 7 over the years. And then never had them crop up again, you know? Could have just been like bus conflict issues or something like that. I ended up disconnecting the webcam entirely from the USB bus. And I actually had a wireless mouse attached to it as well. which I totally forgot about. It's got one of those tiny dongles. Not even really a dongle. It's so I disconnected that. You're not gonna troll me again, Axe. Whoa, that guy might troll me. No game. What the hell is going on? My OBS is God, what the hell is going on? Yeah, because OBS says there is game audio. I don't know why it's not transmitting out to you guys. Halloween is in the heart, not in the time of year. Wayne, what's up, dude? Alright, guys, let me get to a safe spot so I can troubleshoot this. Let me get to a checkpoint. This is not a good spot to try to troubleshoot stuff. And I can't troubleshoot sound without... I can't... When you pause this game, there's no audio, so... But yeah, Wayne, welcome to the stream, man. Always good to have you. Well, we probably missed the checkpoint. Did we get it? Yeah, we got it. Okay. Favorite of the Ghouls and Ghosts series? I don't know, man. I'd probably put them all on like an even level. At one point in time, I would have said Super Ghouls and Ghosts, but I can finish that one so inconsistently that I don't think I like it as much as I used to. Yeah, I don't understand why the sound's not working. That makes no sense. It says it's processing the audio. It's giving me levels on my Elgato. So my favorite Ghouls and Ghosts game is Maldita Castilla. That's hilarious. That is an awesome homage to the series. If you guys haven't played that, you absolutely have to. Yeah, I'm getting no game audio here either. What the hell, man? Stream. What is going on? This is pretty frustrating. I never have problems like this over at Twitch. Yeah, guys, I'm trying to troubleshoot the audio issue. I'm previewing it on my phone right now, so I really don't know why there's no game audio. Because, like I said, I've got levels on the Elgato. It makes no sense. Absolutely no freaking sense. We're gonna try to refresh the. Yeah, I know, guys. Thanks, Captain Obviouses. I'm gonna call you all Captain freaking Obvious. Here, you guys satisfied? Here, we'll change the freaking game title. It could be my capture card. I was having connectivity issues with it before I first started my stream. Your mother was a hamster. Yeah, you're telling me, guys. I absolutely hate technical difficulties. It's my least favorite thing about streaming. And YouTube videos in general. I mean, you can have technical difficulties even just playing locally. You know, without streaming. But you tend to run into the most technical difficulties when you do stream. It's really aggravating. Alright. Finally, some gameplay. Alright. Yeah, so the audio issue, actually what I did is I again deactivated my capture card and then reactivated it once more. And it seems like that did the trick. Wayne, if you're getting screen tearing, that could be other issues. It might not just be MAME. It could be like VSync settings inside MAME and so forth. I know I have the same problem on my Pandora's boxes on my arcade cabinet. But they're not exactly known for being, well, the Pandora's boxes in particular aren't really known for being, like, amazing hardware. Wow, 54. That's awesome, man. I'm only 34. Well, I say only like it's nothing, but compared to 54, yeah, it's nothing. Always good to see some old fellows in here. Yeah, there's probably a lot of like late 20s and early 30 somethings in here, maybe some early 40 somethings. That's usually what my demographic is. You know, people that grew up with this generation of gaming. But there's always the exceptions. I got some younger folks, I've got some older folks, and it's really cool. Doing a MAME stream? Probably not, because this computer is just... I don't know. Maybe I should try it. I don't even think I have MAME on here anymore. No, I'm pretty sure I have it on here. Yeah, maybe we could do a MAME stream sometime. Oops. Yeah, actually what I did recently is I got a Pandora's Box 3, which is this like multi-cade arcade board. It's basically running a version of Linux underneath the hood, and it's got a bunch of Linux emulators on it. And so I actually have been doing arcade streams with that, just pointing the camcorder at the arcade monitor. I feel like this boss's pattern is more erratic in this version than the arcade one. Oops. Yeah, Haunted Castle. Yeah, I would like to eventually do a Let's Play on that game. Y2J, I think the Nintendo Switch is a good concept. I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah. My big thing about the Nintendo Switch is that hopefully it should alleviate like software drought issues that the Wii U had. I don't even really care if the hardware is not that much better, as long as we get lots of really good frequent releases. The Wii U just, it took so long between like each of like the truly good releases on the system, especially in the beginning and actually in this last year. So with Nintendo trying to not mitigate, but you know, sort of combine both the handheld and console division, hopefully they can get enough steam to where this replaces the 3DS and becomes their main portable handheld. Or maybe in like a year or two, if this thing sells well enough, they can have a redesigned version that's a little bit more portable to truly take over the 3DS market. And then we'll have so many more games available. If the Wii U had all the 3DS games available on it, it would have been such a better system. It would have been so much more enjoyable. We wouldn't have had to wait so long for like good titles. Like we could have played Kid Icarus on it. We could have played Luigi's Mansion. You know, stuff like that. Like that probably should have been Wii U titles, but weren't. Yeah, the Switch appears to be ditching the motion controls. I mean, it's not to say it won't be backwards compatible, say, with Wii accessories. I don't know. I'm gonna guess it probably won't be. But it seems like its primary control method is going to be traditional, you know, not touch, but physical controls, you know, buttons and sticks and directional pads and whatnot. That'll be nice. I feel like I can't attack as fast in this game as I can in the arcade one. I don't mind motion controls. It just depends on the game, you know. My big thing is being forced to use very specific gimmicks. And that was one of my biggest issues with the Wii U, especially in more recent years. Like with Xenoblade Chronicles X. And apparently the new Paper Mario game does it too. Is you're forced to use the Wii U gamepad and very specific functions of it to enjoy the game to the fullest. So Xenoblade Chronicles X, you have to use the Wii U gamepad for the map functionality, and that's a very crucial element of gameplay in that game. You have to manage stuff on your map. There's no on-screen TV map in that game. And so if you want to use the Pro Controller, which is a hell of a lot more comfortable than the Wii U gamepad, you have to have the Wii U gamepad tethered next to you the entire time. So it's hard for me to play Xenoblade Chronicles X with the Wii U gamepad. It's just the positioning of the analog sticks. The analog sticks don't feel that great compared to the Pro Controller. For a game that's got me constantly using both sticks. You know, it's a dual stick game, basically. And so when I play Xenoblade Chronicles X, I have to have the Wii U gamepad tethered to me at all times when I use the Pro Controller, which is frustrating. So instead of giving me a option on the screen, you know, to say bring the map functionality up to my TV, they don't allow me to do that. They don't allow me to manage the map and resource management aspect of the game with a controller. You know, I have to use the touchscreen, and it's insanely frustrating. Star Fox was kind of the same way. You know, they designed the game around this, you know, motion control aiming aspect. And so you pretty much have to use the Wii U gamepad. You can't just play the game with the standard Pro Controller. So Nintendo's basically forcing very specific control setups on you. And they're not even really great. Like Star Fox, I just found to be insanely frustrating from a control standpoint. But yeah, it definitely depends on the game. So like Pikmin 3 is a good example of a game where I can't imagine playing it without the Wii U gamepad, because you pretty much do everything on the gamepad. It's kind of like a point-and-click game. Pikmin 3 was like, almost seemed like it was made for the Wii U gamepad. It worked. But I guess my argument still stands, though. For other people that didn't like that aspect, they should have given players other control methods. And actually, in Pikmin 3, I think they might have. Actually, I'm pretty sure you still needed the Wii U gamepad for the map in that game. I don't remember. It's been a few years since I played it. Yeah, one of my biggest problems with the Wii U is just that, you know, they force very specific control methods on you. And don't give you options. I don't mind having the control methods, but not giving you the options to control a game the way you want. That's the frustrating part. So Xenoblade Chronicles X was one of the big issues with me. And then Star Fox. Oh my god, Star Fox. Honestly, to me, that should have just been an entirely on-rails shooter, and the game would have been wonderful. You know, Star Fox 64 is still a joy to play today. It's still an awesome game, and I don't really understand why Nintendo doesn't get that. All they needed to do with Star Fox on the Wii U was make another on-rails linear shooter with tons of paths and stuff like that. Pretty much all the reviews it got basically said, oh, it's Star Fox 64, again, with awful controls. If they just gave us Star Fox 64 again, I think a lot of people would have been happy with it. So, I definitely would have been happy with it. And hell, I wouldn't even mind Star Fox Zero on the Wii U as is if they just gave me the option to just play with the standard controller. Alright, there we go. The thing about VR is that VR is pretty incredible when you use it. I don't think it's really a gimmick. I don't think it's gonna really get old. You know, it's that immersive. It also has different applications, you know? It's not just for gaming. You know, you can use VR for a whole lot of different things. Yeah, now that you guys mention it, I'm actually kind of glad motion controls weren't really a lasting thing. I mean, obviously they're going to have a lot more implementation or a lot more purpose in the VR environment, but as far as like traditional video games, I'm glad they were kind of abandoned. It was novel on the Wii. That was the main system I used motion controls on. And a few select Wii U titles that supported them. Like, Mario Galaxy is still kind of unique, using the motion controls for that. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't a lasting thing. I'd much rather just use standard, you know, controls. Yeah, encrypted printer, I totally agree. I'm there with you. Yeah, virtual tourism in VR would be great. Metroid Prime in VR, I have not seen that. VR porn. Of course somebody would mention that. Oh, man. Oops! Crap, I didn't want this. Rule 34. If it exists, there is porn for it. Yeah, even with some of my disappointment with the Wii U, Simbin, I think it's still a really solid system and definitely worth owning. I mean, particularly the games that actually work well with the Wii U controller, gamepad, and aren't too gimmicky, like Super Mario 3D World or New Super Mario Bros. U. Just really great games that I've put much time into. Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, incredible game. You know, and aside from the control issues, Xenoblade Chronicles X is pretty amazing too. Super Mario Maker. Of course, there's Mario Kart and stuff like that. Smash Brothers for some people. Monster Hunter on the Switch. Yeah, I could see that happening. Definitely. There's a Monster Hunter in the Wii U. I think I actually had Monster Hunter in the Wii U, and I haven't played it yet. Dude, come on. come on. This game's trolling me now. Look at this. Here's the flame, because you really want that, right? The game's like, you know, you want to touch it. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's get to the checkpoint. I don't know if Smash really lost its focus so much as I think everybody's favorite version of Smash is Melee on the GameCube. What they should do is just re-release Melee as is. Super Smash Bros. Melee HD. And everybody would probably be really happy. Oh. Well, I'll take that. Oh! Well, that sucks. Yeah, I'll try to play the Monster Hunter games eventually. Like I said, I have Part 3 in the Wii U. I just haven't gotten around to really playing it. Oh yeah, Simba. No, I know. No, but I think it would have been cool if Nintendo just, instead of actually making a new Smash Brothers game, just re-released Melee, but like an HD version of it. I think people would still buy the hell out of that game. Because so many people are still playing it. I'm surprised Nintendo didn't do more of that. I understand they want to be, like, unique, but... hell. I'd buy an F-Zero GX HD with, like, very little changes. Just, like, make it 1080p or something. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. I'm sure other people would, too. Not really, Y2J. I actually don't really play Smash Brothers anymore. I played Melee quite a bit. I skipped Brawl. And then I bought Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U. Played it for like a week and then never played it again. I think I ended up trading it in. Here, I know. They should introduce Scorpion into, you know, Smash Brothers, and then he'll just, like, torch everybody with his flaming fire breath. That would be entertaining. No, seriously though, I don't really have, not really big into the franchise. Yeah, I think it's one of those games you really have to have people around to enjoy it. Single player in Smash Brothers only goes so far, and not much for online play these days. I prefer like couch co-op. Couch co-op or like in-person competitions, you know. But I don't have that many friends over these days, so Smash Bros is not something I would typically play these days. If I had Smash Brothers, like last weekend when I had Ronnie, my friend Edon, and my brother, they were all here at once, and Ronnie's girlfriend, I would have been totally down for Smash Brothers, but I don't have it anymore. Yeah, Simbin, they do have some Wii U, DS Virtual Console games in the Wii U, and I have a couple. It's a great way to play, Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers for the DS. I just wish Konami, brought the Castlevania games to it. I'd buy those in a heartbeat. Not to mention it would allow me to Let's Play them, finally. Which I'd love to do. I'd probably actually do the DS Metroidvania games before the GBA ones, just because I'm more familiar with them. It'd be easier to Let's Play. Scorpion would say, Nintendo over here! Oh, jeez. Alright, we're almost there, guys. Almost there. I mean, I know everybody likes to make fun of Konami about the whole pachinko thing and whatever. But, I mean, they did bring out Dracula X on the Super Nintendo to the Wii U Virtual Console, I think like a year ago. So it's not even like it was that long that they did stuff like that. And I think Nintendo is still licensing games from them, or bringing games. Like, they brought some GBA games not too long ago, like Contra the Alien Wars, and some stuff like that is on the Wii U Virtual Console now. Yeah, Y2J, I'll eventually do something the night for sure. I thought about doing it this October, but then I just ended up planning out a whole bunch of other things instead. So the original plan for this October was to do Metroidvania games on the Game Boy Advance, like Circle of the Moon and Area of Sorrow. But I ended up never practicing those, so. And then the AVS came out, and then that got me to buy the Japanese Castlevania 3, so I was like, well, I know what I'm Let's Playing now. And that sort of kicked off the whole October Halloween thing. Death Stranding! I can't say I'm looking forward to it. I am curious to see what it's about. Twin stick zombies ate my neighbors. That could actually be pretty cool. Maybe. It depends on how they do it. Thanks, Tempest. I'm really bummed we got that blue screen of death. Everything just screwed up and I just kept playing Mortal Kombat. It took like a minute or two for it to really dawn on me as to what happened. I finished the endurance match and then realized my whole computer went toast. I'm trying to think of what else we could play. What time is it? I can't stay up too late. It's 5 a.m. I can do another hour or two most likely. What else on there in the Genesis is there I could play? What else is there? God, I can't even talk, man. I was really sleep deprived when I woke up today. I think it's catching up with me. I only got a few hours of sleep, and then I had to wake up at a time I normally don't ever wake up, and then had to go do stuff. Started streaming around 1 a.m. It's almost 5 a.m. now. You're actually in Kojima's basement. That's hilarious, man. I do have WrestleMania the arcade game, yeah. Probably not gonna play it on Genesis. If I had my 32X hooked up to this Genesis right here, I would play the 32X one. No Eternal Champions. That's also another game. Like, I actually don't like the Genesis version very much. I have it on Sega CD. It's one of my favorite Sega CD games, though. It's so much better on Sega CD. Buster's Hidden Treasure. No, I actually played Buster's Hidden Treasure on stream on Twitch a couple months ago, and I got a few levels in, and I was like, man, I don't have the patience for this right now. So I'm trying to think, what else do I want to play? Jeez, man, I have no idea. All right. Let me switch up and go to my games list and see what we've got here. And I'm going to need to take another brief break. Wiz and Liz? I've never played Wiz and Liz, so I can't judge. I want to judge really badly, but like I said, I've never played it. I don't know if the Punisher works. We can see if that works. Let's see. I thought I've tried it before. I've never actually played the Genesis Punisher. And I've actually barely played the arcade game either. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Yeah, General Chaos isn't really... I don't think it's really my kind of game. I've never played the Punisher before, so we'll give it a shot. I'm going to take a quick break. And I need to use the restroom and grab something else to drink. Maybe even a snack while I'm at it, because I haven't eaten in quite some time. God, now that I think about it, it's actually been like 8 hours or 9 hours since I last ate. Alright, let's see. Sure. I mean, supposedly this version of Punisher is pretty good, based on what I've heard, but I've never actually played it before. Wayne, I actually did Castlevania Bloodlines already. Although I actually did want to go back and do it on the expert mode. EA game where you play as a ghost, yeah, The Haunting, I think, or something like that. Yeah, Blargman, we're not playing arcade games, we're playing Genesis games. That's what I have hooked up to the Framemeister right now, so we're just going to stick with that. Alright, so let me take a quick break, guys. I'm going to put up the old away message here. And I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, Comic Zone is a great game. That's one of my favorites on Genesis, but it is hard. right. Alright, 2-button game. Yeah, I actually never played much Moonwalker on the Genesis. A lot of people seem to like that game. Wow, the jumping in this game is very stiff. Look how fast it is. Yeah, the combat's kind of wonky in this. I'm actually kind of surprised. I expected it to be better, based on like the feedback I've heard. Okay, so you can do double taps in this just like in Captain Commando. It actually doesn't seem bad. I can see how it probably follows the arcade game. And the combat definitely reminds me of Captain Commando in the arcade game. I know they probably ran on the same engine in the arcade. Probably made by a lot of the same people too. Okay, so you can pick guys up and walk around. That's good. That's actually kind of huge, actually. You know, actually seems pretty cool. There's a lot worse in the beat-em-up genre on the Genesis, so... I mean, it's no Streets of Rage 2, but... it still seems solid. Music doesn't seem very good. Graphics aren't really anything to shake a stick at. But the gameplay feels solid now, the more I'm getting used to it. It's nice to see that the Genesis got a port of this. I mean, I didn't even know this was an arcade game. Or a port of an arcade game. I always just assumed it was just a regular, you know, 16-bit superhero game made for console. Yeah, just like in Final Fight, grabbing and then just pressing the button over and over again does major damage. Hyperstone Heist? Yeah, I actually was thinking about that, Wayne. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. juiced up some apple juice before starting my stream, so I just drank it. Just chug the whole thing in one go. Final Fight, definitely. Yeah, I love Final Fight. Such a good game. Like the original Final Fight. I'm not really a big fan of the sequels. The console-only sequels. Does he shoot him in the arcade game? Yeah, I mean that was typical for this time period. I mean, like Final Fight got censored too when it came home. I need to get Final Fight on Sega CD again. I need to make a copy of that so we can play that on stream sometime. Oh, these are chicks. They didn't look like that when they were bending down. Not really certain how this gun mechanic is supposed to work, or why it even works the way it does. Yeah, I agree, Logan. Yeah, Final Fight was a great staple in that system. I'm so glad they brought that to Sega CD. It wasn't an arcade perfect port, but it was a hell of a lot better than the Super Nintendo version. And I still like the Super Nintendo version too, but the Sega CD one was just awesome. Oh, baby. It's sad because, like, it feels like your fists are a lot more powerful than your gun. It's like, why even use a gun? Video game logic. I mean, this is still pretty cool. I would much rather play this than a lot of the Genesis beat-em-ups. I mean, you got Golden Axe, you got Streets of Rage, Timothy Hyperstone Heist. Outside of that, though, you got a lot of mediocre beat-em-ups. The same with Super Nintendo. You got a few standouts, and then a lot of Me Too's I try to cash in. Oh, limited continues, so I actually have to be good at this game. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to revisit this in the future and spend more time with it. Maybe try to play it on my own or something. It seems pretty cool. And then I'll have to play it on my arcade cabinet, because I have, the arcade version of this is on my Pandora's box, I believe. My multicade. Oh, Cyborg Justice. Ooh. Ooh. I did a Let's Play of that about a year ago. I think it was about a year ago. And you guys can easily tell how not thrilled I was about that experience in the Let's Play. Huh. Hitting grenade. Dude, these enemies are non-stop. I wonder if there are other moves I don't even know about. I have not played Dick Tracy, actually. I should try that sometime, because I think it's one of those Genesis games that came out in the first couple years the system was out. Maybe it was like one of the earliest Genesis games. I don't know. The boss is called Guardroid. Like guard droid. Wow. Clever naming. I love it. I'm guessing this guy I can't pick up. He's huge. Okay, so he jumps. I probably have to jump when he jumps. Yeah, I mistimed that. I mean, he was the actual boss too. Okay. Oh, so the items get tallied up as points. That's what they are. I kept picking up like grenades and guns and stuff like that. And I was like, what's the point of all this? I obviously can't use them. I mean, I still dig this, though. It's obviously probably a far cry from the arcade version, but it's still, by Genesis standards of beat-em-ups, it's pretty solid. I'd say it's just slightly above average. It's not like Streets of Rage 2 territory, or Hyperstone Heist, you know. Let's just say those are like the be-all, end-alls on the Genesis. But, I'd say it's, you know, it's better than, like, your Mazen Sagas and, God, your Captain America and the Avengers and stuff like that. Maximum Carnage. Probably fun on two-player mode as well. I mean, beat-em-ups usually are. The old man is still here. Hey, it's all good. If the old man likes video games, I am okay with him. Actually, I'd probably be okay with him anyway. But even better if you like old video games. Oh, excuse me, sorry. I prefer Turtles in Time as far as like the level progression. I prefer Hyperstone Heist when it comes to like the gameplay. A lot more responsive when it comes to like the dash mechanic, which really helps in that game. You can really abuse the slide mechanic in Hyperstone Heist. It's a lot harder to abuse it in the Super Nintendo game. I mean, they're both like fantastic. They're both great games. Some of the best beat 'em ups of that era, in my opinion. I mean, if not the best when it comes to console stuff. And the Streets of Rage 2 is amazing, but goddamn, like Turtles in Time and Hyperstone Heist 2 is so good, and they look and sound great. I don't know, man. Like, really great games. Bad back. Oh, that's sorry to hear, man. I'm obviously 20 years younger than you, but I've had back issues myself, and I've had my share of problems already. My dad's had his share of problems. He's probably about 10 years older than you. And, yeah. Gotta be on that physical therapy, doing stretches and treating your body well. Otherwise your back is going to reflect it. Not in a good way. I guess one of my only issues with this game so far is, I mean, I've got a few gripes with it, but nothing I can't, you know, get over. Like, the graphics aren't really anything great. Very, very muted colors. Not a whole lot of detail on the backgrounds. But my biggest issue so far is just how long you stay on each screen. It's just like enemy after enemy after enemy. This final fight keeps moving, you know? Final fight keeps moving, and you visit a lot of, you know, different looking places, all within the same place. It's pretty cool. But this is just like, you don't really feel like you're going anywhere when you play this game. You don't really feel like you're seeing anything. And that's what sets the great beat-em-ups apart from the others. I mean, obviously aside from the gameplay, but a lot of the best beat-em-ups take you to a wide variety of places, and Streets of Rage 2 is a perfect, like a shining example of that. Like that carnival level, you go through all sorts of areas in that stage. The whole game is like that in Streets of Rage 2. You know, so Streets of Rage 2 is like, okay, we're gonna start outside. We're gonna have lots of glowing signs and lots of different backdrops for the storefronts and so forth. And then you encounter a dark alley, and the guy comes out with knives, and then you go into a bar, and you start breaking, like, chairs and tables, and you see a bar, and then dominatrixes start whipping you, and you're like, holy crap. And then you go outside the bar, you're behind the bar, and you get into another fight. Everything just is so varied in that game. And in this game, not so much. Hey, we did just jump into a building, though. At least, you know, we're kind of going somewhere, but it's seems like you don't go very many places in this game. It's a lot of very mundane environments, not a whole lot happening. The combat, though, is good, though. You know, like I said, it feels like Captain Commando. And I'm sure, I have no doubt that the arcade version of this was probably done by the same guys that did Captain Commando. Obviously, they're both by Capcom, but I can tell this is most likely, probably most likely, it most likely ran on the same engine as Captain Commando in the arcade. Because they were both CPS-1 games. RoboCop versus Terminator. That was pretty cool on Genesis. Yeah. I didn't play a lot of the Genesis one. I had it for a little bit when I was collecting games in like the late 90s. The one I did play a lot, though, was the Super Nintendo RoboCop vs. Terminator. Totally different game, but really, really solid, if I remember correctly. Crime Fighters from Konami. Yeah, I never played Crime Fighters. That'd be a good one to try on MAME sometime. Is that it? No? Okay, so one other thing I do like is it seems like these bosses do have discernible patterns, which is... Can't say the same for most beat-em-ups. A lot of beat-em-ups have really, really cheap bosses that are just meant for credit feeding in the arcade. But this game seems like, you know, there is a rhythm and rhyme to each boss. Once you figure out the weakness, there is a weakness to exploit. My guess is the drastic difference in quality is that nobody really cared about the Punisher or the arcade game. Street Fighter 2 was a really big deal, though, at the time. So a lot of effort was put into the Street Fighter 2 ports. That's just a guess. Oh, I can throw grenades by hitting attack and jump in the air. Oh, that's good to know. Oh, that's how you use them. Nice. Okay, thanks for the tip, man. That's really, really useful. Okay, I kind of see what's going on. You can sort of use the gun to stun enemies, and you can get up close to them and just do some real damage. Yeah, that's what it's... Okay, I get it now. I can deal with that. That's cool. I can dig that. Yep, Mega Turrican. It's pretty good. Yeah. I used to play the I used to play that a lot back in the day. I don't like it as much as I used to, but it's I used to play the absolute hell out of Mega Turrican. I'm gonna eventually do a Let's Play on it. I just need to get really familiar with it again. So many games I still need to Let's Play. Every time I think I'm running out of games to Let's Play, I realize there's still a lot of games left. I mean, just as like far as like games I'm familiar with, so. Yeah. Okay, that's really cool. So note to self: use the grenades. Oh, when you pick up people, you can actually... Oh, that's cool. Oh, nice! Okay. Yeah, so there's more moves in this than I gave it credit for originally. Yeah, Wayne, I think that's kind of part of it for me, too, is... I really, really liked Gunlord. I played the hell out of it when it first came out on Dreamcast. And now when I go back to the Turrican games, I'm just like, well, yeah, these aren't as good as Gunlord. Gunlord is easily NG Dev Team's best game ever. Oops. I think it's game over. Oh, one more continue. Okay. Yeah, I actually got used to the 3-button setup on Street Fighter 2 as well. When we would play Street Fighter 2 at my friend's house, he only had one 6-button controller, so like one guy would always get stuck with the 3-button, but I would take the 3-button and I would still play pretty well with it. You can actually get by really well in Street Fighter 2 with certain characters with just using like punches or just kicks. With Guile, it was, well, Guile you had to switch back and forth all the time, but like Ken, you could do pretty well with just, you know, 3 sets of punches. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Like earlier, this game just doesn't really feel like it advances. Like, we've been stuck on this same train rooftop. Not even a different train rooftop. Just this same train rooftop for like 3 minutes now. And you're like, is this ever gonna end? I think 32X Doom, I mean... Jag Doom was the same way. You only hit 3 buttons. So you basically had no individual strafe keys. But it still played fine. I mean, for a console game. Oh, it's interesting, your weapons actually have... Oh, you can only use them a certain amount of times, then they break. Okay, I got it. It actually tells you how many uses each weapon has in the bottom left. I get it. Okay. .32X Doom with the 6-button controller, you still didn't have individual strafe functions, though, right? Or did you, and I just never used it? Hey, BC, how you doing? Y2J? Yeah, I've actually done quite a few PS1 streams. I'm actually not that familiar with Medieval. Believe it or not. Wow, that did some real damage. So, one of the PS1 games I plan on Let's Playing, hopefully sometime soon, is R-Type Delta. And, oh, you could pick them up! Man, this game is, like, continuing to impress me with, like, its varied moveset, which is cool. Shame these guys couldn't even be palette swapped. This music is really repetitive too. It's just looping the same, 20 seconds over and over and over again. Yeah, I believe the North American version of this is rare too. Oh, this guy goes down really fast. Yeah, Einhander I'd like to do eventually. The unfortunate thing about Einhander is I don't think it's on PSN, is it? Or is it? Maybe I should buy it on... If it's on PSN, I'll buy it there, because... the actual PS1 version is too expensive now. It's like... I think it's over $50. It's probably even more now. It's been a few years since I checked on Einhander. Even the Japanese version's probably over $50. Yeah, so the takeaway for this game is that graphics and sound, not very good. Really nothing to write home about. But the gameplay is good. It definitely feels good once you get used to how it feels really stiff at first, and then once you kind of understand how all the enemies move, how the engine works, it actually feels pretty solid. Everything just works. Yeah, I could definitely recommend this. As far as beat 'em ups go on the Genesis, seems pretty solid. I'll give Wiz and Liz a try sometime. I think I might have it on here. Oh yeah. That suplex attack is super powerful. Logan, I could technically. It does have a VGA output on it, but I'm not sure how my capture cards would like that. I have a VGA to HDMI converter. Actually, it might be fine. I think the VGA... No, it's not an HD model, so it wouldn't do 720p. So what I actually did for the multicade was just put my camcorder in front of it and just run the stream at 60 frames a second. It seemed like it worked pretty well. I didn't really have any complaints. Flamethrower. Man, the grenades do a lot of damage too. Did you get a throwing star? I did. Look at how look. That's kind of awesome. Yeah, I've actually never played this game before, ever. Not even the arcade version. Yeah, stream health looks like it's good on my end. Got a couple of drop frames, but not much. A few drop frames is normal. A few drop frames doesn't usually even cause buffering. It's just frames will start to skip. Gotta say, this game feels like it is kind of long though. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't look at length as something like, oh, it's too short, I didn't get my money's worth. It's like, to me, it's like, was it fun? And the problem you run into with really long games is that they can become boring. You don't want a game to become boring, ever. And right now, it's kind of becoming boring. I'm fighting the same guys. I've been fighting since the beginning. They actually look out of place. Like, why am I fighting rapper-looking dudes named Dean in the forest? It just, yeah, it doesn't really fit. Like, these guys, I don't know. They seem to fit a little bit more. Something new, you know? Yeah, no, I've actually played the first Tiny Toons just very briefly on the NES. I do want to revisit it. It's the hottest rap group in Sherwood. In the Sherwood Hoods. Yeah, right? Now they're teleporting. I don't remember them teleporting before. I don't remember them doing projectile attacks either. Yeah, I figured the arcade game would be shorter. Oh, look! A boss we've already fought. The only difference is now he's got an enemy with him. Yeah, I think we've been playing this for way more than 20 minutes. Yeah, Y2J, I think you posted on one of my videos about Tiny Toons, and I think I responded. I played a lot of Buster Bust Loose on the Super Nintendo. Like, I finished that game many times back in the day. And so I do definitely want to do a Let's Play on that. That'll be the first Tiny Toon Adventures game I do a video on, most likely, because it's just the one I played so much as a kid. I could probably get used to it and just blaze through it without too much trouble. Alright guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm getting kind of bored of this game now. Maybe I'll revisit it in the future. I think I need to take my glasses off too. My headphones are starting to hurt my ears. That was game over anyway. We probably weren't going to finish the game. Alright, we're going to play another beat 'em up, since we were talking about it earlier. Was it on Twitter? Maybe it was somewhere. I'm pretty sure you were the one that asked about Tiny Toons. I highly doubt it's a coincidence. Oh, man. I'm actually getting tired. Wow. That's good. It means I might actually sleep today. Now I want to just like run up to enemies and touch them like in Punisher. Like I'm gonna throw them or something, but it doesn't work like that in this game. Morbid curiosity? No, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. With a lot of the Capcom ones, it was more about like crowd control, especially in Final Fight. Having to use things like throws to knock enemies in a certain direction, things like that. In this game, it doesn't really, you know, it's not really a big aspect of the gameplay. Yeah, I don't know why we never got a port of Simpsons back in the day. Like, that, to me, was just absurd. Same with the original X-Men arcade game. Maybe they just felt like it, Oh, I have a feeling I know why it was. I bet you it was because other companies had the rights to home Simpsons video games. So I think it was probably Acclaim for a while for Simpsons. You know, I believe Acclaim is the one that put out all those kind of crappy Simpsons games. Bart vs. the Space Mutants, Bart vs. the World, Bart's Nightmare, things like that. And then other companies had X-Men, the X-Men license. So Sega had it on their side, Capcom had it. Actually, X-Men might not have been exclusive. A lot of different companies made games with the X-Men characters in them. But I'm pretty sure Acclaim was the only ones to make Simpsons games. They probably had that license locked down. The new TMNT movies, I never saw them. I thought they looked really stupid, honestly. Yeah. I thought they looked really dumb. Thought the turtles looked dumb. All the over-the-top, wacky CG stuff I thought looked dumb. Not really a fan of that type of entertainment in my movies these days. I still really like the original TMNT film. It's funny. It's not crazy over the top for the most part. It's, you know, turtles don't go snowboarding down like, you know, along with avalanches. Like, shit like that just doesn't happen. It's the original TMNT movie. Just, it's kind of real, you know. Like, I think that's really how the turtles should have been. And just. Yeah, I don't know if part 2 is really good anymore. I do know that part 1 has aged quite well, honestly. I mean, just the practical effects alone still hold up really well. Like the turtles themselves, but like the story is good. The conflicts between the turtles is good. You know, it's just a solid story. It's not a movie made just for kids. Like, the kids can really enjoy it as fans of turtles, but adults can really get into it as well. And that's the sort of thing, like, I don't really see with the new Turtles movies. And a lot of Hollywood blockbuster films, honestly, to be honest with you. Hollywood's all about, like, just, like, you know, making that cash money. And, you gotta bring in the dumb people. The dumb people is what makes money. See, back in like the late 80s and early 90s, it felt like a little bit different. Like, even supposedly kids stuff could still be intelligent to an extent, you know? I don't know if that's really necessarily the case anymore with stuff like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Maybe it could be, but Hollywood probably just doesn't want to take a risk on it and take it in that direction. Yeah, I mean, I loved TMNT 2 when I was a kid. Like, I loved that movie so much. I saw it opening weekend when it came out. But that was also a really, really long time ago. And I honestly haven't seen it in recent years. But my brother and I actually did sit down. We watched the first one not too long ago. And still thoroughly enjoyed it. It really holds up pretty well. You know, the first one's got really good humor. You know, you get along with the characters. But it's also got good drama and... you know, good tension and stuff like that. It's a good, varied film, you know? And then it's got just, like I said, the practical effects and so forth. I mean, so many things are CG nowadays that the practical effects just are awesome to behold. It's kind of sad it's come to that in terms of filmmaking. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Dumb people like Michael Bay. No, Michael Bay is obviously really smart because he's making a lot of money. It's the people that go and watch his stuff. They're the dumb ones. Oh yeah, wait, no, Two Crude Dudes is awesome. I love that game. I need to do a Let's Play of that soon. I need to practice it. Oh, I got crushed. Trying to get the pizza. I got trolled by a Genesis game. River City Ransom's actually one I've never finished. I've only played a very little bit of it. I saw one of my Twitch streamer friends play it on stream a few weeks back, and he finished it. So hopefully soon I can try to practice that and eventually finish it for the first time. Wayne, you're like the 25th person tonight to mention Truxton. I can't believe how expensive it is. It used to be like a $5 game. But shmups in general are rising in price. Booger Man. Never played much of Booger Man. I know quite a few people that like that back in the day. Whoops. It probably is all his fault, to be honest with you. I'm definitely a firm believer that the rise of internet video has really helped cause a spike in retro game prices. There's just more interest there than there really ever has been. I mean, I see it even on my own streams and YouTube videos. Like, I'll post a video or stream a game, and then, you know, someone will come in and be like, I Because of your video, I just went and bought this game. I'm just like, well, I know even I'm having the effect, like having an effect on retro game prices, and I'm just a small channel. So these guys like Classic Game Room, you know, especially back when Classic Game Room was, well, people cared about Classic Game Room, and he was getting like 100,000 views. I don't know if his single video views were ever that high, but they were a hell of a lot higher than they are now. And man, talk about an influence on people's buying decisions. Oh god, awesome possum. Let's not go there, guys. Let's not go there. I actually tried to play that game once. Yeah, I was streaming Doom, and Wayne goes, yep, this is awesome. I just bought it because of watching me stream it. So... Dude, Deadly Groove has bought so many games because of me streaming them. Did you really buy Zol 2? I really don't hate Zol 2 that much. I was just really hot when I was doing that Let's Play. And I popped. I literally popped in my brain. And, yeah. That was the end of that cartridge. You did not buy Zol 2. Okay. Dude, I hear pizza in caves is the best kind of pizza. Yeah, Toe Jam and Euro was a lot of fun. Never played much of Part 2, though. I always heard it was kind of odd. Then again, I guess the first one was kind of odd, too, when you think about it. Do I have Part 3 in the Xbox? Hold on a second. I don't think I do. I need to buy that. No, I don't see it. Huh. Figured I would have picked that up by now. I just looked over at my Xbox collection. I've been, over this last year, I've been buying a lot of PS2 and Xbox games since they're cheap. And, I'm trying to get my Xbox collection where I've got pretty much every game I'd ever want to play on it. Since they're so cheap, I can justify it. Thought I might have had Toe Jam and Earl 3, but I don't. I definitely want every Sega game on Xbox for sure. Oops, I don't want to do that. Or you could just play it on the EverDrive, Wayne. Yeah, Glaylancer is pretty cool. That's definitely one of the better shooters in the system. It's actually a good challenge, too. Yeah, no, it really is. It's nice playing, like, some semi-modern games that don't require DLC. Yes, I have played the Echo games. Yep. I never realized that if you jump on this part, you get hit by the spikes in the ceiling, and that makes sense. It's just, I don't really jump that often in this game. I just use the dash attack like this. Oops, I just jumped. Right as I said, I don't ever jump, I just jumped. I mean, this attack is so useful. This is what really, I mean, aside from, like, the different environments in this game, what really separates this from the Super Nintendo one, for better or for worse, is this slide function. It's just, you could do it on command, basically. In the Super Nintendo one, you can't do that. See? Because there's an actual separate run button in this one. That makes all the difference. Yeah, I mean, early 7th gen, too. I mean, even most of last gen, you didn't necessarily need updates to play the games. For the most part. Yeah, I need to pick up Black. I know it's not expensive, and a lot of people say it's pretty solid. I never played it. It looked like a more modern military kind of shooter, and those usually turn me off. But I'll have to give it a try sometime. I know every time I see it for sale, it's only like, at least at like a thrift store or something, or the books and movies store I have up the next city over. It's usually $5 or so when I see it for sale. I'll have to pick it up. I don't already have it, do I? Hold on. I have so many Xbox games now, I don't even remember what I have. I think I'm up to like 60 some odd Xbox games at the moment. No, I don't see Black. I haven't picked it up yet. I've seen it a lot. I always pass on it when I see it. I should just bite the bullet and buy it when I have the money. More like gun porn. Okay, I'm down with that. It's just like military-style shooters just usually don't jive with me. I grew up with like Doom and Quake and stuff like that, so. And even though you can classify Wolfenstein 3D as a military-style shooter, you had zombies and dreary environments, and it was pixelated as all hell, so it wasn't really realistic, you know? I think the next stage is actually the last level in the game. Actually, no, that's not true. I think we have to do a boss rush. We have to do all the bosses over again. This game has a little bit of padding, unfortunately. Yeah, no, beat 'em ups definitely can get repetitive. That's why, like the previous game, The Punisher, I just stopped playing it because it got kind of boring, honestly. But yeah, the TMNT games for Super Nintendo and Genesis are phenomenal. So Hyperstone Heist on the Genesis, then Turtles in Time on Super Nintendo. But Streets of Rage 2 is another fantastic one on Genesis. Arguably better in some ways. I mean, this actually gets more repetitive than like Streets of Rage 2 does. It's a little less varied. Yeah, in recent years, the Japanese Castlevania 3 was my most expensive. I think that was like $120 to $140, something like that. But it was a complete copy. Japanese Castlevania 3 for Famicom. I do flashcards with everything now when I can. But unfortunately I couldn't really do Japanese Castlevania 3, so... But I don't mind having the real thing, because it's my favorite franchise. I actually used to own it. This is the second time I've owned the real Japanese Castlevania 3. I had a near full Castlevania collection, all complete in box, just a couple of years ago, but when my brother informed me that he was going to be moving out and I didn't want to get another roommate, I realized that the only way I was going to be able to make things work is by selling off a lot of stuff. And so I sold off my entire Castlevania collection, which sucks. I really miss it. Yeah, I don't mind paying for DLC if it's like really good, but like I bought the expansion to Layers of Fear. It was like $5, and you get a decent little campaign. I was like, it's worth it, you know? I can get down with stuff like that, especially if the game is cheap enough as is. If it's a game I really, really like. I admittedly don't really do much DLC at all. But if id Software was like, okay, we're gonna make a brand new Doom campaign, it's $10 in the Xbox Live Marketplace, I'll be like, day one purchase. That's one of the few exceptions, because, you know, I love Doom 2016. Yeah, Alien Soldier is one I need to spend more time with. I only played like a boss or two. Yeah, see, this is the padding I was talking about. We literally just fought this boss. Monster in My Pocket. Yeah, it does. I remember that. I did a Let's Play of that sometime last year. Not last year. I think it was sometime this year. It was earlier in the year, I believe. Or maybe it was last year. I don't freaking remember. I do so many damn videos. I don't even remember when I do my videos. I think I just recently recorded my 200th Let's Play and I didn't even realize it. I was like, the hell? I've done 200 Let's Plays? Jesus Christ. I wonder how many other YouTube channels have actually done that many Let's Plays. Because so many of them just split them off into, like, full game playthroughs, you know? So many just split them off into, like, 20-part sequences. They take one game session and just draw it out for, like, a month at a time. So whatever gets the views, you know? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Halo 5 has lots of microtransactions. The game is still pretty complete without them, though. You don't really need to indulge in those, fortunately. See ya, Logan. Take care, man. think this is the final stage. Yeah, I mean, I prefer to be able to beat these games. If I'm going to do a full playthrough, it just makes sense to me to actually finish them. Yeah, unless I magically get an extra life, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. Well, honestly, Shredder himself is super easy in this game. It's probably the easiest Shredder ever. Yeah, unfortunately, with longer games, it's not really an option. Like, even by, like, the hour mark, not even the hour mark in a lot of my Let's Plays, I start to drone off and I start to lose focus. I also start losing things to talk about by that point. So it's actually really hard for me to do Let's Plays that are more than, like, a couple hours long. Like, Heretic was an exception. That was probably like a good 8 to 10 hours of Let's Playing. I mean, every episode was like an hour and a half to 2.5 hours long. And there was 5 episodes, so it's a lot of gameplay. But in the case of that, it's easy to just keep going with it because, like, I'm sort of, I suppose, presenting things in more like a walkthrough fashion. Especially Heretic, the game that's like so difficult. I can be like, oh, this section is a major pain in the ass coming up. You know, this section coming up is a pain. I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know who Kevin Nash is. A single session of Final Fantasy X would be fun to watch. Oh god, I'd be dead by the end of it. Man dies from sleep deprivation trying to finish Final Fantasy X in one sitting. That would be the headline. Oh, I got an extra life. Cool. Oh god, don't get me started on Splatterhouse 3. Oh, Splatterhouse 3. How I used to love thee. Not anymore. Not anymore. I should say no more, no more. No, nevermore, nevermore. Yeah, no, Y2J, I think you're probably right. It's probably been done before. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's been done. Whoops. Yeah, it definitely seemed easier. I agree. Oh, shoot. Yeah, we're gonna get a game over. I forgot about Krang. Nah, it's not nearly impossible. It's definitely not that hard. It's not nearly impossible hard. It's just, you just gotta know what you're doing, that's all. And not fail when you attack enemies. Like, I kept getting hit by enemies when I did my Let's Play. Shell shock. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, back at the beginning, just as I expected. Really? Come on. Stop doing that, game. Hey, Jason. Yeah, man, I'm going to be trying to stream more frequently on YouTube, at least a couple times a month. I wanted to start sooner, but I also didn't want it to interfere with all my October uploads, so... Yeah, you guys will see me on here more frequently. Again, like I said, at least a couple of times a month. Wow, it feels like Raph doesn't have very good reach in this version. Pretty sure in the Super Nintendo one, he's got pretty solid reach, even though he's still using his size. It seems like he is stronger, but he's also not that fast in his attack, so you're almost better off using a... I like Donatello the most because he's got the range, and he's fast. With Raph, it seems like you have to be really close to these guys. And because of how kind of slow he is sometimes, the enemies can override your own attacks. I don't have that problem with Don. Now, the good thing about Raph is his walk speed is crazy fast, but his attack speed is not as fast. Actually, it doesn't look like he's any more powerful. It still takes 4 hits on these guys. Because with Don, it's the same thing. It takes 4 hits. I don't know. See you, Scott. Take care, man. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the stream. It was good having you. It's always great chatting with some nice, level-headed people. We had some fellows in the chat earlier that were probably on crack or something. Alright, back to it. Let's see. Y2J! What time is it? Hold on. My phone's in the other room now. My phone's actually on the charger in the other opposite room. So I don't know what time it is. Let's see. I could probably... I don't know. 6:30? I could probably keep going a little bit. Yeah, I could probably keep going a little. I'm not sure exactly why, CJ. I didn't actually plan on going this long, but I kind of have to flip my sleep schedule a little bit. Yeah, Raph's walk speed is so good. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I'll be gone by the time you get back. But thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, I work the overnight shift, so normally I'm up this late anyway, but it's a weird weekend because I'm running a pinball tournament on Saturday, and I have to be up super early, normally a time when I'm sleeping. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I should probably actually try to get to sleep early so I can wake up earlier. I don't know. I love the music in this game. It's so good. High energy music. It's like driving music. Oh, sorry. I misread what you said. You said you're off work today, so you can afford to be up this late. Sorry, I thought you were like, oh, I'm off now. I gotta go. Sorry, man. No, I'll keep streaming. If you're here, I'll keep streaming for a little bit. Yeah. I'm obviously a little bit tired right now. I'm not reading the chat text correctly. Yeah, it seems like a lot of beat-em-ups do have elevator stages. I think it's just an excuse to lock you into one screen. And just surround you by enemies constantly. Final Fight, Streets of Rage, TMNT. No, it's all good, Y2J. No, you actually worded it fine. I read it briefly. I saw it as, oh, I'm off. Like I'm leaving. That was my bad. Alright, final boss. Ew, man. Now I'll show you the real patterns. Oh, I'm sorry. God damn it. I am so tired I can't even talk. I was gonna say, now I can show you the real power of patterns, because that's all this guy is. The green one, yeah, it's pretty basic stuff. I just gotta remember the timing. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't like having to block guys either, but you can, the more you stream, the more you get used to picking up on what's just generic spam and stuff like that. Like that dude came in and was like, hey, watch my videos and I'll give you a shout out. And I was just like, yeah, you're spam, block. So I don't think anybody that actually follows me would come into my stream and do that. Yeah, his blue attack is the best. He's wide open when he uses that attack. Oh, god damn it. See, I misread it again. You said, I hate the blocking guys, as in, the enemies in the game. Sorry, it's just a little delayed. You said that right as, like, I blocked a dude in the chat. God damn, I'm tired. Oh, crap, I'm tired. Yeah, I know why. Okay, I see. Man, I'm tired. This is a good time to take a quick break. Parole officer is here. Later, Z Bunker. You're probably gone by now, but thanks for hanging out. Oh, geez. Alright, let me go, put my brain back together. I'm gonna take a quick break. I just let the ending roll out, and I'll be back in a few minutes, and I'll figure out what I want to do after that. What? The final boss of Final Fight is still alive, according to Street Fighter V. Man. What garbage. That is some seriously retarded retconning going on there. Do they even acknowledge that he fell out of like a, you know, a 30-story building to his death? I mean, ugh. All right, man. Would he like fall into a net and they just or is there like a huge pool of water and he just happened to dive in at the right angle? Or it's like it was actually all a dream. He wakes up and realizes that he's still alive. It was just all a dream. Now he can truly take over the city. Jeez, man. Well, I'd say that's a wise choice, though. I think I'd much rather have a shotgun than a crossbow. See, with a shotgun, you can be lazy and still actually hit things with it. With a crossbow, you have to actually be good with wielding your weapon. Yeah, that's true. His crossbow was rapid fire. I was just like, oh man, let's play Ghouls and Ghosts. And I was just realized we already beat Ghouls and Ghosts like 2 hours ago. Oops. Never get enough Ghouls and Ghosts. I kind of just want to play Castlevania Bloodlines again. I don't want to do that to the people that have been here since the beginning, though. Well, actually, I haven't played Sparkster. I've only played the original Rocket Knight Adventures. Alright, I guess I'm going to ask you guys, do you want me to take the super short route in this game, or do you want me to actually try to play through the regular game? Nah, we actually just played 2 beat-em-ups back-to-back, so... I think I'm in more of a straight action mood right now. Oh, no, they made Sparkster for both the Genesis and Super Nintendo. Sparkster is the second Rocket Knight game, but it came out multi-plat back in the day. Aren't the Super Nintendo and Genesis versions like different? Yeah, totally different games. That's right. We're only going to give you the option to decrease the amount of lives you have. It's actually been a while since I played this. I think Contra 3 is harder. I honestly think Contra 3 is harder. Hardcore is technically a larger game. It's gonna take you longer to, whoops. It's gonna take you longer to, like, learn everything about hardcore. Holy fights up, man. Alright, we're switching. No, it actually was a lot harder for me to finish Contra 3 for the first time. And thank you for the reminder, BC. I need to do that. I finished Contra 3 for the first time back in September. I was going to do a Let's Play of it, and then the AVS came out. And then October came up. And then... So I need to go back and do a refresher of Contra 3. I finished it for the very first time this year. In September specifically. That was actually a really good achievement for me. I never thought I'd actually spend the time to learn Contra 3, but... Yeah, the thing about Contra Hardcore is you have this slide attack, and it makes you invincible for the most part. You know, as long as you don't run into a projectile or something like that. You also have more weapons at your disposal. You can store 4 weapons at once and a bomb. So like this guy right here, I can just slide through him. See? You have a lot more flexibility in this game because of the slide maneuver. Contra 3 doesn't have that. And Contra Hardcore as well, it's almost like every single weapon is really good, too. Because in Contra 3, I think there was a couple weapons in the game where they weren't as good as other weapons. And in this game, you can pretty much get by with just about any weapon. Now, the graphical effects in this game are so good. I have not Let's Played Sonic 3 yet. Oh, I thought he was gonna... Oh, I messed that up. I have not Let's Played Sonic 3 yet. I actually was gonna do it earlier this year. I practiced for it. Same with Sonic and Knuckles. And I just never got around to it. I ended up doing other Let's Plays instead, so... Yeah, I'm not a fan of the overhead levels of Contra 3. Those are easily my least favorite stages in the game. I don't like Contra 3 nearly as much as I like Hardcore. And I think I'd probably put them more on an even level if Contra 3 didn't have the top-down stages. I do think they're like quite a distraction. The second top-down level especially. Oh, screw that stage. I mean, once you know what you're doing, you can just tear right through it, but... Yeah, that's the biggest thing, BC, is that they are gimmicky. And they do kind of make you dizzy. It's one of the few examples of, you know, Mode 7 usage where I actually kind of feel nauseous a little bit when I play those levels. Hardcore doesn't have anything like that. It's just all straight 2D side-scrolling the entire way, which is awesome. It's got a more tasteful use of really cool graphical effects. Tons of background scrolling in this game. Like, you can see lots of line scrolling in the background there. This is a homage to a boss in Contra 3. Well, the one in Contra 3 is a little more challenging. Yeah, they had to show off that Mode 7, unfortunately. So yeah, Sonic 3, I need to actually get back to that. I need to do another run of that, just to refamiliarize myself with it, and then do a Let's Play. I mean, I'm not really amazing at the Sonic games anymore. I used to play them a lot as a kid, but I don't play them much anymore. I don't even know what I'll say for Sonic 3. I'll just talk about, like, past memories and stuff like that, like I usually do with some of my Let's Plays. Yeah, I need to do that. I need to get that done. Then I want to do the Master System. At least Sonic's 1 and 2 on the Master System. Maybe I could even put myself through Sonic Spinball on the Master System. I don't know. We'll see. I've got to rearrange my list of Let's Plays. I got a list on iStore that has games I could potentially Let's Play and games I definitely want to Let's Play and things like that. I sort of have a slight game plan of things I want to Let's Play, but... Morbid Curiosity, I did play a little bit of Sonic 4. I actually bought it. I kind of regretted it after buying it. Yeah, unfortunately. What I need to do is get Sonic Generations and run through that, because apparently that's pretty good. Looking forward to this Sonic Mania, though. I'm really impressed by what they've shown with that. That looks really cool. Because, yeah, that game not good. You always got all the emeralds by the 3rd stage. That's tough. I don't even know where all the rings are in Sonic 3. You know, to access the bonus stages so you can get the emeralds. Whenever I do the Let's Play, I should probably actually watch like a long play to see see where all the special stage locations are. I don't have a problem completing the special stages. It's actually just getting to them is the hard part half the time. Yeah, to me, Sonic 4 still felt like a really cheap imitation. I mean, I didn't mind the graphical style. It was more or less just how the game felt. It didn't feel like Sonic. It felt really clunky. And that's why I didn't really get into Sonic 4. Maybe I should revisit it on stream sometime or something. I mean, if you guys want a more modern take on the classic Sonic formula, I think Sonic Colors was pretty solid. I did put a decent amount of time into that game. I never finished it, but I did actually get, I think, pretty far into it. I definitely enjoyed that one. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Oh, why did I do that? I hope they don't make an Adventure 3. Sonic and talking and story, just no. Not necessary in a Sonic game. Just, please, just make a straightforward Sonic action game. That's all you need. That's all you need to do. People will eat it up. Holy crap, I am sucking. I like this shot. It looks like the, almost the classic machine gun shot from the NES Contras. To a certain extent. Yeah, well, the great thing about Contra Hardcore is you've got different characters and all their attacks are different, which is really cool. You kind of pick a play style you really like and just stick with that. Or experiment. It adds replay value, being able to play around with different characters. Classic laser. Seems pretty powerful. See, normally by this point I would have her homing attack, but since I died... Yeah, it definitely seems pretty powerful. Seems like it's got a pretty large hitbox, too. Shit, why did I do that? I jumped. Yeah, normally I use the homing attacks as a crutch. Yeah, I feel like my Genesis 6-button controller is not responding. I wonder if I've just used it so much it's just getting worn out. Oops. Like my up-left diagonal function just doesn't seem like it's working half the time. I would guess that console games had limited continues, so people wouldn't just finish them in one sitting. Especially arcade-style games where you might not have certain types of checkpoints. It would keep people from credit feeding their way to the end of the game. Especially on like a weekend rental or something. Oh, well, I just beat the game in one sitting on a rental. There's no reason to buy it now. You know, that sort of mindset. Sushi Sunshine, how are you doing? Yeah, pretty much morbid. I agree. Remember what we were talking about, Y2J, you know, the whole Michael Bay thing and dumb people? Well, you can kind of apply that logic to video games. Some people say that, and I've heard this so many times, especially back when I worked at video game stores, people would call shoot 'em ups too easy because they could just continue over and over and over again and beat the game on their first try. So even though they've continued 35 times, the fact that they were able to actually see the end of the game, they consider it too easy. So that's like the mindset of your average casual gamer. Not casual gamer, but, you know, the average video gamer out there that's not, like, hardcore into these genres. So that's exactly why limitations were placed on classic games like these. But also, rentals were much more of a thing back then. Way more of a thing back then. So that was something to consider as well. I mean, everybody went to the video store on the weekends and rented games. Everybody rented games back then. You know, in the 80s. And for a good portion of the 90s, even. Most of the 90s, actually. So, you gotta place limitations, otherwise people are gonna be stupid. And not think. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the price you pay for playing really difficult games. You know, they expect you to get better at them the more you play them. You know, they expect you to learn from your mistakes, and that's really what much of the enjoyment is in these kinds of games, especially, is dealing with challenges and overcoming them. You know, learning the patterns and so forth. Whoops! Why did I do that? The reason I did that is normally I stay in the ceiling on this boss. But it looked like his laser was just going to come right up at me. So I jumped down. That's not something I ever do on this part. Yeah, I miss video game rental stores. I really wish I had one near me. I would actually experiment with more modern games if I did. I would experiment with a lot more modern games if I had a rental store. I just don't want to buy a lot of these games that come out, you know? And developers and publishers don't really offer too many demos anymore, unfortunately. So like in the beginning of the 360 generation, Microsoft made it mandatory, I believe, to have a demo for every game out there. So you could pretty much demo anything that was out there. You didn't have to rent it. You didn't have to go out and get a copy of it to try it out. But now it's been made a lot more difficult to do that, unfortunately. Yeah, I totally understand that, like, playing difficult games isn't for everybody. That's why genres like role-playing games flourish, you know? You get my brother on something like Contra, he will not pass the first level. He's really horrible at these games. And he's terrible at learning from his mistakes. And he loves role-playing games. Although he has been warming up a little bit more in recent years to action games. He's especially been playing a lot of Castlevania games. Which is good to see, because, you know, that's like my favorite franchise, so. Yeah, the unfortunate thing about Redbox rentals is that, like, they don't really seem to get many games. I don't even think they have any Wii U games in my local Redbox rental stores. I went there when Star Fox came out. I was like, I want to see if I can rent Star Fox, and nope. No Star Fox. I had to buy it for $60 to try it. And I wasted my money on it because I didn't like it very much. Yeah, the thing about GameFly is you're paying a decent chunk of change each month. Blargman is back. Back with the blarg. Is anybody else out there having weird audio issues or whatever? Not that you'll actually be able to hear me if you are, but sounds like Blargman out there is having some issues. Oops. Try refreshing. I don't know if you can actually hear me, Mike, but try refreshing if you can. We've been having all sorts of issues tonight. I don't know if it's a YouTube thing. Okay, so Dadajari doesn't have any issues. God, I am not using this slide attack enough today. I'm out of it. Totally out of it. The slide attack is really mandatory at certain parts of this game. Is the stream hanging for anybody else, or is it just Sembin and Blargman? Yeah, it's probably YouTube. I mean, if anybody else out there is having issues, or if you're not having issues, feel free to jump in the chat, post something, and feedback is more than welcome in this case, especially. Alright, Morbid says it's lagging for him. For Y2J, it's fine. Where are you guys located, just out of curiosity? What are your internet connections like? Maryland, okay. And Morbid's on Wi-Fi. Oops. Oh my god, what am I doing? Helsinki, nice. Yeah, I'm on Ethernet too. I'm transmitting this stream over Ethernet. Yeah, 100 megabits over Wi-Fi. Alright, so I'm going to lower the bit rate a little bit. I mean, it's only at 2500 kbps, so normally on this computer I do it at around 2200, but it doesn't look as good. It was fine for you, but now it hangs. That's so weird. Alright, let me try to, trying to rig the YouTubes. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't really know what to say. I mean, like I said, it seems like it's working for some people and not for others. Could be a regional thing. Y2J is not very far from me. Yeah, no, you guys absolutely should try lowering the YouTube quality. You have that option. Definitely try lowering the quality. I just lowered the bitrate a little bit, so it's going to be transmitting at a couple hundred kbps lower than it was before. YouTubes is a series of tubes. That is right, Simon. That is right. Whoa. Oops. Shoot. I think it's actually been a while since I've taken this route. I don't remember the patterns on this level. Is that game over? Oh, we still have one more continue after this. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? I put my alternate shot option on. I got stuck in place. I haven't played enough of Alien Soldier. I was seriously looking at the chat when that thing stabbed me. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's the thing about streaming. You're like, oh, I'm safe to look at the chat for a quick second. No, stab. Dead. I want to spend more time with Alien Soldier. And I actually feel kind of dirty not having played much of it at all because it's a Treasure game, and I really like Treasure stuff from the 90s. See, this is where having other weapons would really come in handy. Yeah, when I first played Alien Soldier, definitely the controls was the hardest thing to adjust to. Yeah, one of these days I'll you know, really just sit down with it and try to learn it. Probably sometime on Twitch. What I need to do is just make a list of games I definitely want to learn. And just, like, knock them off one by one. Alien Soldier is definitely one of those games I'd like to learn. Oh, I have to jump over him? Yeah, I just don't remember these patterns. I vaguely remember some of the patterns, but I don't remember them well enough to avoid them 100%. One of the things about hardcore, and Contra 3, but hardcore even more so, is like, when you know the patterns, you should be able to get through the game without dying. It's, you know, it's that simple. It's just all about knowing the patterns. That's right, man. Sega. And Contra Death. I am dead. Oh. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna have to call it a stream. I'm pretty tired right now, so I want to stay up later, but I've just got a lot of stuff I've got to do. Not just later today, but tomorrow, and lots of stuff on the plate. Yeah, it's 7:30 in the morning. I think what I'm gonna do is just try to go and pass out for a little bit. For those of you guys that are on Twitch, follow me on Twitch as well if you want to see more. What I'm going to be trying to do is, I'm going to be trying to stream on YouTube Gaming at least a couple of times a month. And most likely on Thursdays. I'll try to alternate Thursdays. So I probably won't stream on YouTube next week, but I'll try to stream the week after. And, but there's chances are I'm going to stream again tonight on Twitch. And I'll probably stream Saturday night. Although Saturday night might be a drunken stream. So, no problem, Y2J. I appreciate you hanging out. I'm glad you got to catch the stream. And it seemed like you enjoyed it. That's pretty awesome. So... And so if you guys do the Twitch thing, follow me over there as well. I usually stream Fridays and Saturdays at Twitch, and when I'm not on YouTube, I do Thursdays at Twitch as well. Those are my streaming days for the most part. And but yeah, YouTube Gaming, I'll try to do streams here once every couple of weeks on Thursdays. But, yeah, I gotta get some sleep. Man, I'm tired. Yeah, you too, Simbin. I know I'll probably see you over at Twitch, Simbin. Sorry for the connection issues, guys. I really don't know what's going on. But yeah, hopefully it wasn't too much of a problem for some of you guys out there. Hey, man, alright, good night, guys. Good morning, good day, wherever you are. I'll see you guys soon.